get going here. I am going to use a retiring stamp set called Beautiful Day. And I want to talk about this for just a sec because back in the day, a couple of years ago or less, we had clear mount stamps and wood mount stamps. Now the clear mount didn't have any stick to them. So when you tried to put them on your clear block, you really had trouble getting them to stick. So there were all kinds of tips out there on different ways to get them to stick. And this particular stamp set I got long enough ago, and actually I believe it belongs to Jamie Kurtz. Shh, Jamie, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's yours after today. It's got no stick to it. And there are ways to make it stick without adding adhesive and stuff, but I won't get into that right now. What I did want to say is, when you're putting our new cling mount stamps together, keep this sheet, because look at all this leftover adhesive. So I'm gonna trim off a corner of this, and then what I want is to be able to stick, not this side, but this side. Okay. So I'm going to stick that down onto my stamp and then peel that back, and now guess what? You've got cling on your cling mount stamp, or on your clear mount stamp. So it'll help keep it on your block. So that's just a little tip for you when you're purchasing the cling mount stamps now. Keep the extras, because every little piece can be used for stamps that you've got that were clear mount instead of cling mount. So that's my tip of the day for you. Now let's make a really pretty card using the butterfly from this stamp set. I'm just going to start by inking that with our Tuxedo Black Memento pad, and it's important that I use the Tuxedo Black and not the StazOn, because I'm going to be using Stampin' Blends with this. The Stampin' Blends are alcohol based, so you want a water-based ink. You want the opposite when you're working with watercoloring or coloring in different ways. So in this case, I'm using the water-based ink with the alcohol markers. If you're going to use like a watercolor technique with a water brush, then you would want the StazOn ink and the regular watercolor, or the water-based inks. All right, I had to get my train of thought going. All right, so ahead of time I did go ahead and cut that out. So now I'm just going to color these, and I'm going to take dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to highlight sections of the butterfly with my Stampin' Blend marker. This is the dark again. And then I'll go back in with the light Blackberry Bliss and blend that together. Now I learned a very nice tip from my friend Tammy Conan, who is a demonstrator. She said it's okay to leave some spots white, because that's the light hitting the wings or the flowers or whatever it is you're coloring. You can leave little spots white, and it's perfectly acceptable and artistic. All right, so I'm just going to go that far, and then I'm going to go in with the Petal Pink dark. See how Petal Pink isn't very dark? It's very pretty though. It's a subtle pink. And then, did I get those mixed up? Yes, I did. Oops. All right, so go in with the dark and then go back with the light and blend that color and leave little spots white if you'd like. All right, so imagine this is all done. Then we're going to take our Petal Pink cardstock, which I cut 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to fold that in half. And I'll use our classic label punch stick that all the way in, line it up almost with the edge of the cardstock, maybe not quite, and punch. Then I'm going to move it down and punch a little bit more and leave about a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 inch over here. So I've got a little window here. Now I've cut a piece for the inside that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to close that without adhering it into my card. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark kind of the middle of that, maybe up from center just a little bit. Then remove that. Then I'll take my multi-purpose liquid glue. We want something that really, really adheres the butterfly to that spot. So just right down the middle there is where I want the glue. And then I'm going to put that over where my mark was on my paper. All right, so now I'm going to set this aside. I did one in advance. And what I also did is took Wink of Stella. It's a glitter brush. I took Wink of Stella, put that, brushed that around my butterfly, and you'll notice when I did this butterfly, I did the petal pink around the outside and the Blackberry Bliss highlights in the center. I'm going to, in this thread, I'm going to put a poll to see which you like best. And you can let me know. I'll post the finished one of these so that you'll know for sure which one you like better. All right, so now I'm going to take my Happy Birthday, May Your Day Be As Beautiful As You. Take that Memento ink again. And that's just going to go down here in the corner. All right. Then we'll adhere that, let me get this punch out of the way. We'll adhere that to the inside of our card, which I have prepared. Just like this. Oh my gosh, that butterfly is so pretty with the Wink of Stella. All right, and then we're going to take, I forgot to look what this DSP is called. I'm telling you, there's so many names of things to remember, but this is a retiring paper that's just gorgeous. It's kind of impressionistic, like a Monet painting. And I cut a piece of that I'm going to adhere just, you know, 1/8 of an inch from that hole punch, and then a little bit bigger border here. So now check this out. Fold up the wings, stick them through, and look, oh, it's so pretty. So then when people open that up, the butterfly is still on the inside too. Eee. I love this card. Now I'll show you the original one I made when I'm all done. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, I should have left that open. I'm going to take our polka dot tulle ribbon, which by the way is not retiring. This is going to carry over into the new catalog. And I will tie that into a little bow, which will just add extra cuteness to the card. Trim that down. Okay, so now let's close this up so you can see the finished product. And there you go. Cute, right? Ah. All right, here was my original. And I want to just note a couple of differences. First of all, I just used marker to color the butterfly here. And then what I did was I marked, just like I did with the other one, the white with a pencil, but I actually stitched that in the sewing machine to keep it there. Yeah, I was sewing on my cards. So, you know, cute idea, and you can do it with any butterfly. I think butterflies are the best. You could try it with other things too, but I love this stamp set because the butterfly is just so big and bold.